Stay tuned for The Soul of Generation X, brought to you by i3 Communications.
Welcome back to another episode of The Soul of Generation X. Hope everybody's doing well and trying to get through the storms that keep popping up. We are back, of course, and want to welcome my partner, Lenny. Lenny, how's it going?
Hey, man, it's going good. As a matter of fact, let me say it's going outstanding because you got to keep a positive outlook on this thing here.
Yeah, that's true, brother. That's true. We got to keep a positive outlook on it and not give up. That's one of the main reasons that we are doing what we're doing. How are things going as far as any new emails? Have you been contacted? Any of our listeners or fans around the world?
Well, I'm glad you said it. We're getting new fans just about every day. Want to get a shout out to a new listener, Anthony Hamilton. He's in the state of Florida, and he just wanted to say that he enjoyed the podcast.
Wow, okay. Appreciate that, Anthony. Appreciate you listening in. And click that like button for us. That takes us, keeps making us move up. We appreciate you, Anthony. That's awesome, bro.
Yes.
Any other news? Summertime has hit us, rolled around here. You got anything going with any vacation? You taking any time, flying anywhere, Dubai, anywhere? What you got going?
I'm glad. Well, first of all, I want to wish you a happy belated Father's Day.
Same to you, my brother. Happy belated Father's Day to you as well. You very well earned that top-notch position there.
Hey, that's an A1 position we got as fathers. And
yes,
for all
sir.
you fathers out there, also remember this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
That's true. Yeah.
Just want to put that in the front pocket, guys out there who are struggling with mental health issues going on. It's a joyous day, a Father's Day, but it's also you must take care of yourself as a father. So from one father to another, if you need help, go get help, and so you can be around for many more Father's Day. But it was good. I had a good time. My daughter came by and we celebrated Father's Day.
Okay, okay.
It was a good day. My other two children were out of town, but it's always good to see one of your children appreciate you being their father and taking good care of them. So, matter of fact, how was yours, my brother?
Oh man, it was outstanding as always. Like you said, it always makes you feel good to when your kids take time to celebrate you, because they got so many things going on, and when they take some time to celebrate you, that is it makes you feel good. And you feel appreciated because they got so many things going. You know that,
right? Oh yeah.
They always got some things going on. So
oh yeah, that's for sure.
So,
but it's always a positive. It's always a good thing that these kids are in the right direction. They got a level head, and so that's all you can really ask as a dad or as a parent. You put all you can into them, and you just hope and pray that they carry out do all the good things they can in life.
Yeah, things that you taught them, and that's another reason, like I say, why we're here, because a lot of the stuff we do here, and I'm sure you would attest that when you're so consumed by these things that are going on, you're thinking about your kids and your grandbabies. That's the first thing that's coming to my head, and we get this. We go into protect mode, and
yes,
and that's really a big reason we're doing what we're doing. For our kids and other folks' kids, we thinking about them. So man, I tell you, that's something that's really great. Glad you brought that up. We really appreciate them. So what are you we keep an eye on this like meteorologists, like this, like I mentioned, the storms at the beginning of the show. What kind of storms are you monitoring as of late?
You mean political storms or natural weather
Political.
events?
Hey, they might as well be either or, because
Yeah, they
man,
run parallel with each other right now.
it's something new every day. If it ain't 95 degrees out there, we dealing with some nonsense that's going on in our country, man. It's just it's ridiculous. It just is. It's so many things to talk about, but we're trying to stay on top of what we feel our audience would be. We're kind of choosing for them, but we're trying to stay on top of what we think that we can give them the best information at the time. So what storm are you monitoring right now?
Well, if you're looking at, and I'll start taking them in order of respect. So, natural storm, natural weather, Mother Nature, if you want to call it. There's been a lot of bad storms. West Virginia's been hit with floods. They have a storm that's coming across the country now. It's going to affect 150 million residents with power outages, floods, you name it. So, get prepared for that. This is the hurricane season, tornado season. So a lot of residents in a lot of states, red states, blue states, if you want to call it that, I just call them, people in the United States are going to be affected. So you're going to be dealing with the heat, you're going to be dealing with the rain, the wind, and the fire out west in California and in Washington. So, yeah. Now the political storm, that's just as bad, because just this past weekend, and I'm sorry to report that a state representative and a state senator in Minnesota was shot. The state representative, she was killed along with her husband. Her name is Melissa Hartman, I believe it was. She was killed along with her husband, and the family dog was killed as well. The killer, it was a MAGA, and I want to set the record straight. You hear people out there on my page, they were, the guy was a Democrat. No, he was not a Democrat. He was a stone cold MAGA Trump terrorist killer. And that's just how I put it out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he dressed up, disguised himself as a police officer. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, went to these people's house, shot her cold stone dead, shot her husband stone cold dead, and killed the family dog. Then this scumbag, this MAGA terrorist Trump supporter scumbag, drove down the street to another house. A state senator, John Hoffman, shot him and his wife. He shot John 7 times and shot the wife. No, John was shot 8 times and the wife was shot 7 times.
Yeah.
But they managed to survive. Man, thank God for that. Wow. So this scumbag was on a hiatus for about 3 days. They were looking for this piece of crap Trump supporter. So they finally found this guy hiding in some weeds and some bushes on a farm up in Minnesota. So they apprehended the scumbag, and they're going to try him in the state court. Now, the feds want to come in and try him on a federal case. That's fine and well, but the state said, nope. He committed the crimes here. He's going to get tried by state, because I don't trust Donald Trump.
I was getting ready to ask you that.
I don't trust Donald Trump.
I was going to have you make that clear why we want that charged in the state.
Because we want that in the state because Donald Trump cannot pardon his MAGA supporter from the horrific crimes that this guy committed.
He can't put his dirty little hands in it, right?
Right.
Okay.
So on top of that, you would think that Donald Trump would have enough decency to reach out to the governor, Tim Walz, and offer his sympathy and condolences. But he doesn't do that because he has no couth. He has no understanding or no sympathy for the dead or anybody else. So, you can't expect anything else out of him. So I just want to say to that family, to the families of all those victims. Uh, we here at Generation X podcast want to send our deepest condolences and our love to you guys.
Amen.
So that was just a horrific event. But on the brighter side, there were a lot of protests in all 50 states this past weekend, where not just thousands, not just hundreds, not just thousands, but millions, over 10 million people showed up at these parades across the country to protest No King Day.
No
We have
King's
no
Day.
king in this country, Donald Trump.
No kings. No
No
kings.
king. No king. And so I was so proud that people showed up, and it just wasn't Democrats. It was Republicans. It was independents. It was whoever.
Right.
Whoever cared about democracy showed up, and they displayed unbelievable character. There was very little incidents where people. I think maybe out of the whole 10 million plus, I think there were maybe about 20 people that got arrested, and
Yeah, I did hear something.
that
like
was
that.
it. And they probably getting antagonized by some of these Proud Boys they had in the crowd trying to stir up trouble. So I'm proud of the people that showed up, and they sent a message to Donald Trump, because on the same day he had a birthday parade. He claims he was celebrating the 250 year of the Army being existent, which was a lie. He had a parade that nobody really showed up for. I think he might have had 9,000 people show up, if that.
Yeah, if that much, huh?
It was a very
You get more people at a JV football game.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah. It was a very somber, rain drizzled day for him. He looked like he didn't want to be there. I know Marco Rubio was bored. Donald Trump's wife was bored. The troops didn't look sharp. They were marching out of step. And I think that was their way of protest, because you know why?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I
Because
heard that too.
they could not enjoy their weekend. They could not enjoy their extended weekend. They had to put on for this buffoon
True.
who had an ego problem and wanted to display his military might. So I support the troops,
Yes.
but I'm glad it failed Donald Trump. I'm glad it fell flat for him, because he does not deserve, Mr. Bone Spurs does not deserve
No, he doesn't.
to even sit in the seat as commander-in-chief
Exactly.
for this great military. So, and I just want to piggyback on that real quick, and I'll turn it
Yeah,
over
go
to
ahead.
you.
No, you take your time, man.
He spoke at Fayetteville, North Carolina military base, and I don't know if the crowd was handpicked. Those ones behind him was handpicked, but it was it. See, the military to me is supposed to be non-partisan, and you
Right.
shouldn't make it a partisan issue if you're the commander in chief, because they are there to protect America. And I just thought it was disgraceful for the way that some of the troops were cheering and jeering and laughing
Yeah.
at his corny ass jokes.
I saw that. I did.
And that
yeah.
was very disturbing as an American who's
Let
a
me ask you, Lee.
taxpayer. Yeah.
Didn't they? Weren't some of them actually prompted to do some of the things that they were doing? They weren't. I heard something about having a get your white privilege card. I don't know if you heard about that. They're selling various paraphernalia, MAGA paraphernalia, and the particular troops that were doing this, they gave them a little audition before everything started, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And so he had the ones behind him because, there are going to be some MAGA troops. We know that. And he had a group that they had prompted and auditioned. Did you hear anything on that?
Yeah, I did. And I heard about that. And yeah. So what he decided to do, Donald Trump is nothing but a grifter. He gonna make money on selling you some stale baloney. All right, so that's the type of grifter he is. So, and it's sad because, Because if troops can sell out to Donald Trump, in my opinion, they would sell out to the enemy. I mean, that's something to think about.
That
Because
is
if you're
that
that
something
easy to be
yeah.
persuaded, who said
Yeah.
that you won't give if you won't give up information for some silver or some gold or
Now that
or thousands
wow.
and millions of dollars?
That is an incredible point that you made there, Lenny, because a lot of the things that the armed forces that they missions and various activities and things that they do
Right,
depend on their honesty and integrity,
right,
and which that also we can relate to that as well
right,
in some of our dealings. So we know what if you know what I'm talking about.
right.
So and that I really that's you just brought that up. We hadn't just let our listeners know we hadn't done any show prep on that. So
Right.
that is really that has me kind of my mind stirring on that because if you can prompt them to do something like that, could we
Yeah.
trust them?
Can you trust them?
Could we? That's something we need to look. We need to do some more research into that.
Right, and I mean,
Make some notes on that. We need to check into that. That
because
is,
I know you got a little bit closer ties to people in the military than I do. I would be curious to find out their opinion about it because to me that goes to the heart of national security.
espionage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is
You're willing to sell out for this garbage that this guy is throwing out for a hat, a white privilege card, a guitar, whatever he's selling, and you're that gullible, okay?
yeah.
So
yeah.
who's to say that you won't be that gullible in the face of an enemy if you're captured, or if somebody presents $1 million, $100,000 to you? Just don't bomb this place. Here's $1 million if you miss your target.
Yeah, I mean that is excellent point you make here, and I piggybacking off of what you're saying here to give credit to one of our fellow podcasting brothers, good brother Steve Schmidt.
Yes.
On Steve on his show, I believe it was Monday. Steve pointed this out. Steve is real.
Yeah.
He pointed out the troops that you were talking about that were standing behind him, right? Am
Yep.
I correct? Okay.
Yep.
Steve pointed out there was a black troop
Yes. Yes.
standing behind
Standing behind.
Donald Trump. There was
Yep.
a black soldier.
Yep.
And Steve pointed out that this black soldier, was hooping and hopping and and just going off with things that he was saying.
Yeah.
And Steve said, go back in time. If that was it Robert E. Lee or
Right.
he said that particular soldier would be in chains and shackles.
But
But he's standing behind. He's
Yeah.
standing behind this buffoon of a president that we have hooping and hawing with these other guys, and he would be in chains, in shackles.
Right. And see the reason and what Steve was saying, because I went back and read the transcript and I actually watched it.
Right.
So Donald Trump was saying we're going to change the name back to Fort Bragg or Fort Kitts and all these names of these rebel Confederate generals, these
Right.
traitors to the United States, these insurrectionist generals who fought against the United States, changing those military bases name back to those slave owners, those no good traitors of the country. And so
Right.
what he was saying, this black guy was back there clapping and hooping and hollering like that was something great because he was ignorant and he don't know history.
Right.
Okay. So he was clapping because they were changing, Trump is changing the name of those military bases back to those trader, slave owners, generals that fought for the Confederate. Yeah,
But he didn't know. I guarantee you, he didn't know.
he didn't know.
He didn't know what he was doing, and I would bet that he wasn't even 20 years old.
No.
And we should do some research on this. Maybe
Right.
we might need to hit up Black Twitter
Right.
and see if we can find out who this young man is, because
Yeah.
we don't want to strangle
Right.
him.
He
we
need-
we,
he
we
needs to
want to
know.
help him. He needs some
Right.
history if he's willing to accept that, because we know that some of our our young men, some of our young women, we as even ourselves, we code switch every day. But it's a point up to code switching. If those of you who know what code switching is, we do enough every day, but we don't have to overdo it. You
Yeah.
know, we do enough to be professional and hold down our professional our jobs and various things, but there's no need to overdo it to where you're going beyond, you're going against yourself.
Right.
So this young gentleman, this young man, this soldier, and I look back at it too. And Steve, I'm so glad Steve brought that up, and it's amazing that Steve did that. I really love the way he
Yeah.
brings things in like that. He didn't pull that out to pick on him. He if he could have talked to him and said, "Young man, do you know what you're cheering for? And you're hooping and hollering. Do you even know?" That young man didn't even know. That soldier didn't know what he was. He was just there and trying to look good in front of those other fellow white soldiers in a way of not to get left out. And the
Right.
peer pressure.
Okay, but so Trump just said that, but he can't do that. You can't reinstate those names, and I'll give you the names real quick: Fort Pickett, Fort Hood, Fort Gordon, Fort Rucker, Fort Polk, Fort
yeah, I
AP
know.
Hill, and Fort Robert E. Lee. Okay, all those traitors who had military bases are named after them. But he cannot implement anything unless he gets Congress approval.
Good.
Yep.
Because Fort Hood definitely doesn't need to go back to Fort Hood.
Right.
All the trouble they've had at Fort Hood, we both know some folks that have been out that way. Fort Hood does not need to go back, and the rest of them either. So that's good. And bringing up what you said there, having the congressional approval on this, do you think any of Congress is starting? You think Congress is starting to wake up to this nonsense and say, "Man, we can't back this mess, man. We can't do it." Do you see some kind of turnaround?
No. Absolutely not.
Wow, you
this
didn't think about
Congress-
that. You
No, I
didn't
don't
think
have to
about
think
that
about
one at
that.
all. You didn't
This
think.
con- Yeah, there's no thinking about this. This Congress has given up all their rights. Just like this Congress is like a deadbeat dad. Okay, they have obfuscated, given up everything because they don't want the responsibility of taking care of business for the child. All right, they don't want to babysit this guy. They don't want nothing to do with it. They wash their hands of it. So no, I don't see them doing anything now or in the future. It's going to take a Democratic Congress. We need the Congress and the Senate to not only put shackles on this guy, and I say that realistically,
Right.
and to impeach him.
Yeah. Like,
So no, this Congress is this is a no good, no nothing, good for nothing piece of crap Congress that we're working with.
so you don't think what is that vote they had last? Well, it wasn't a vote, but or maybe it was. They said like 4 or 5 of them were coming around or starting to come around. You don't think that's going to happen?
Nope, they're not. It's not going to be enough of them. It's not going to
Yeah,
be
it's not
enough
going
of
to be
them.
enough.
Nope.
It's not going to be enough, right?
They're going to pass this disastrous bill, and the American people will feel it. They will suffer. Medicaid recipients will suffer. Veterans will suffer. Your 401k will suffer. Your retirement, I guess it's all
Yeah.
tied up, will suffer.
Right.
People on food stamps, Head Start, free meals for kids in the summer who don't really get a chance to eat. All these people are going to suffer. All
So
of them.
you're thinking still, and that bill is called once again. What is it called again? That
The
ridiculous name.
big, beautiful bill, as Donald Trump likes to
That's
say.
need to call it the big ridiculous mess.
Yeah,
That's what it is. A bunch of crap.
yeah.
So you're thinking that this is really, really gonna push through.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going through. It's going to pass, and it's going to add $3.5 trillion to the national debt. It's going to blow a hole in it so big that your kids, my kids, and the grandkids, and the
Still gonna be
grandkids'
paying
kids
for it.
going to
Paying
end up
for it. Yes.
suffering for it, paying for this.
So you don't think any of the protests this weekend, past weekend, excuse me, any of the 10 to 12 million people, you don't think any of that is going to have an effect in us squashing this bull?
Nope. Because the problem is that the election is next year, and they're going to pass this year. So, whatever little tax break the poor people are going to get, that's going to run out. But the tax break for the millionaires and billionaires, it's going to be permanent. You got to remember, we're still living up on the Trump tax break that he gave from 2017. So you combine that with the new one that he's giving the rich now, you're just adding more and more money to the deficit. That's going to just balloon, and it's not going to be sustainable with the tariffs. But if you notice, you've been to the store lately, you see how high the prices have gotten.
Online and at
All
the
right.
store, yeah.
And that's not it. Gas is going to go sky high. When you order stuff online, it's high. You go to Walmart, Target, these little big box stores,
Yeah.
prices are going up tremendously. Even the little dollar market charges more money now.
Yeah.
So when the dollar market go up to $2 and $3 on items, yeah, you got some problems.
Got some problems going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got some problems coming down the road.
Well, that is so what are we looking to get out of this protest that we had this? I mean, is this something for
Well,
down
well,
the line
well,
that we're looking at, or
Well,
what,
it's a start. It's a good grassroots
start?
movement, and it's not just a Democratic protest. It's a protest for people who, and I don't use the word, who care about freedom. I don't throw this word around. Freedom and democracy, but able to say, hey, I like having that guy that's picking my tomatoes or picking my cucumbers, working, paying into my Social Security, even though he or she's not getting nothing out of it. It's keeping the economy going. People don't realize how important and how easy their life was up under Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Okay, we didn't have to get up every day wondering what our president was going to do when these two guys were in office. If they're going to say something stupid or cause drama or just be an asshole all day long. Okay,
Yeah.
we didn't have to worry about that because these guys had decorum, and the country was at ease. It was at peace.
Yeah.
There was a level of, okay, I might not agree with everything, but you know what? I got somebody competent that can think more. They can say more than one sentence and won't be an embarrassment. Excuse me, I thought I was online. An embarrassment to the country.
Right.
So yeah, that's what we deal with. That's what we're dealing with.
So you're saying, like I heard somebody say today, they want to get back to where we had a boring president.
Yeah,
And they didn't say it, and they weren't being mean, but they were saying you're not getting up thinking about politics
yeah,
every day.
Every day.
You go eat your breakfast, get
Right.
your coffee, your juice. and the first thing you do it is you're looking to see what this fool said,
Yeah.
or something that's going on,
Right.
and you're like, man, this is, and it could just mess your whole
It's
day.
exhausting. It's nauseating, and
Yeah.
it's not good for, because what it does, you can only, your mind can only take so much
Yeah.
drama. All right, your mind can
Right.
only take your body can take only so much physical abuse. Your mind can only take so much mental abuse, to the point where people start checking out. They're like, we don't want to hear that anymore. So what this march has done, this protest done, is kind of like re-energized people, kind of like made people refocus and let's say, look, this is the problem. We have a great opportunity to do it. You got to understand, a lot of people registered to vote that day. A lot of people registered to vote. All right. So you might have a whole lot of new voters. And it wasn't just white people coming together. It was a lot of Hispanics were out there. Blacks were out there.
Yeah.
All right. Christians were out there. Non-Christians. All right. Independents, Republicans, Democrats alike. So what he has done, and he has galvanized groups of people that normally wouldn't come together, have come together, because they realize the threat is not one another. The threat is him and his cronies. That's the threat.
So basically, lady, you could say the 90 million that stayed home, we were able to pull
Pull 'em,
a good bit of that 90 million
Yes,
that stayed home. They were out protesting. Would you say?
they are protesting, and those who didn't come out protesting, which people don't like to get out and protest, but they will watch it,
Yeah.
and they will cast their ballot and vote at the ballot box, and that's the most important thing. That's the most
Making
important thing.
awareness. So
Yes.
basically, we're looking at awareness with this march,
Yep.
and the protests around the country, and also out of the country as well. Various parts of Europe, they were marching and gathering. So bringing awareness into
Yes.
what's going on, and as we kind of allude to a lot, that 90 million that didn't vote,
Right.
that stayed home, as we say, the 90 million that just said, I don't like him, I don't
Right.
like him, so I'm just going to not do anything. So
Right.
maybe we reach some of them, some of the 90 million there.
I think so. I think
yeah.
so. I think by it won't take long. By 2026, this country will be at war. The economy will be a disaster. We'll have a president who has lost his way big time. Not saying that he hasn't lost it already. I think this country will be in a bad position. And people are going to be hungry and thirsty for a change. Because where else are you going to turn to? There's no other political party. All right? And I'm not saying that the Democrats are perfect,
No,
but they're a hell of a lot better than what we got going on now.
Yeah. You said be at war, and when you said that, I thought of two wars. I thought of war overseas, but also thought of a civil war as well.
Yes.
When you said that kind of that's been mentioned
Both.
as of late. A civil war, and but I just don't think. I think we gotta pull together and have more faith in, because I see a lot of the Democrats starting to get hard.
Yeah.
Do you see that? I mean, I see them. I mean, the representative Padilla.
Yeah.
Well, he, they were chastising him and making fun as the right wingers do.
Yep.
But he was attempting to get something done, get some understanding
Right.
from someone who has not been with any understanding, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
And you know who we talk about?
Right.
Your favorite Kristen
Christian
Nome,
Nome. Yep.
who she is not worthy of the position that she's in. I could go
Dog
down. I could go downtown and find somebody just out walking in the park that could do the job that she's doing.
Right.
With the so he was attempting to get some, and I heard somebody say, "Oh, he didn't let her speak. He should have let her speak." And I'm like, "Come on, let her speak." He was trying to find out what was going on, which is
Right.
which is, a lot of the Dems have been getting that, having that reputation. They say, "Oh, the Democrats not doing this, they're not doing." This man was trying to find out what was going on, and he was taken down, and really disrespected as a member of the congressional forces that we have in Washington. And he also has been in politics for many years in California,
Right.
right?
Right. Bedelia, yes.
So, yeah, that was a really that was really.
And
I'll tell you.
I'm glad you just made a point that I was going to get
Go
to.
ahead.
You hear these people talking about, well, the Democrats aren't doing this, Democrats doing that. Democrats didn't get us in this mess. All right. Democrats didn't put Donald Trump in the White House. All right. The lack of people who didn't vote, the racist people put Donald Trump in the White House, the people who sat on their asses, all 90 million of you who didn't vote, put Donald Trump in the White House. So
Yep.
I'm sick of people talking about what the Democrats need to do. The Democrats aren't in power. They are limited on what they can do. They're doing all they can. They're the ones who organize these protests and are speaking up and are out there trying to do what they can. But in the halls of Congress, Democrats don't have any power right now. But when they get power, I want them to use it to cut their nuts off when they get in there. Excuse me for saying that, but yes. Yes. So all this what these people are talking about, the Democrats need to do this and Obama need to speak out, this and that. Listen, when you get power, you wield power, you use power, you do it to get your agenda passed. And that's
Right.
what the Republicans are doing. So that's why I go back to say that is why this bill, this terrible bill, will pass, and that's going to be the straw that breaks the American people's back.
That is so un-American.
Yes.
So un-American to back a bill. You're strangling your own country.
Yeah.
You're strangling the people. Well, you know what? We won't get into that right now, but I think it's a good time to take a break. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a break right now, and we'll be right back with more of the Soul of Generation X.
You are listening to the Soul of Generation X, and you can find the Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast. We thank you for tuning in, and please click that subscription button so that you'll be aware of all new shows and updates.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Soul of Generation X. Back here for the summer shows. The what do we call, like Stevie Wonder used to say, Lenny, hotter than July.
Hotter than July.
Is it hotter than July? Okay,
Yes,
we're
it's hotter
back
than
with a
July.
summer. It's hotter than July. So getting back on track. You had another point that you had on your list there.
Yeah, just real quick, just the about the migrants that are being snatched off the streets
Hmm.
here in America. The uh, National Guard that has invaded, and the Marines that have invaded Los Angeles.
Okay.
We have the United States Marine military uh, in the streets of Angeles. Trump has made Los Angeles a military zone now,
Okay.
and it's absolutely wrong. And it's absolutely disgusting. Not that our Marines are disgusting. It's disgusting how Trump is using the Marines as a
Right.
pawn to put on the streets of America, which is against the law. Okay, it's
Mm.
against the law. That was, unless he's gonna uh, uh, say that this country is a martial law, he's gonna use that act. I can't remember the name of it.
Um.
Something like that. But it's absolutely wrong because now you got people being snatched. First of all, ICE. Okay, ICE
Mhm.
has been used as a weaponization organization.
Mhm.
They are like, oh well, Obama he was deporter in chief. Yeah, Obama deported a lot of people, but he did not send. He sent the people back to their home country. He
Right.
didn't separate mothers and babies and fathers and families. If the families from Mexico, they went back to Mexico. They came back and they did it right. He didn't send them to prisons all over the god doggone world. Okay.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, imagine us getting picked up, where we, in our one state, and they drop us off in Portland.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. So you
That's
got
insane,
from
man.
because from the first Trump administration, you got kids who were separated from their families, little kids now,
Yeah.
who have not been found, not been placed back with the family.
And
God,
then
for
you're not,
whatever we
yeah.
know, they could be exploited. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
some have been exploited by some of these pedophiles out here. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's probably been happening.
Yeah.
So these people are being chased down in the fields. All right,
Hmm.
they've been getting snatched at Home Depot,
Hmm.
Lowe's, Scotty's. Scotty's still around. Uh, Restaurants. They've been snatched at schools, graduations, courthouse, labor halls, even in kindergarten. And the sad thing about it is that you're destroying your own economy. These
Yeah.
all these people want to do is go make an honest day living. All right, they pay into
Yeah.
your Social Security and my Social Security. They don't
Exactly.
receive a damn thing out of
Mhm.
this. They
Can't
have to
even
pay
do an income
taxes.
tax. Right. Right.
Yes, they have to pay
Right.
taxes.
Yeah.
So everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, only the MAGA, Trump loyalists think it's a good thing to get rid of the people that's picking the tomatoes and cucumbers
Hmm.
and watermelons and the lettuce and the radishes. They think that's okay that people who go out and do these construction jobs and put roofs on top of the house and cut the grass, it's okay to get rid of them because they're taking away your jobs. They're taking my job.
I was gonna say, Lenny, you've consistently brought that up this season about what we would be or will be losing.
Yes.
By the way, our uh, as they say, undocumented folks are being treated,
Yes.
which is a civil
Yes.
offense.
Yeah.
But you brought that up consistently, from vegetables to fruits to
Meat.
um, uh, our various framers. When I say framers, you see the guys go out there. They either, they're putting up the walls for the houses. They're putting, or they're doing the block work. They're doing various things that we're going to actually start seeing a change, I believe, for the worse now with this what's been going on. We're really going to start seeing what you've been talking about as far as all of those trades and jobs. I mean, it's gonna start really showing. Would
Yeah,
you say?
yeah. Who's gonna
Yeah.
during hurricane season and storm season? Who's gonna be fixing the roofs? All right. A lot of these companies these roofing companies, they hire migrant workers because
Yeah,
they do a hell of
they
a
do.
good job.
Yeah.
All right. Who's gonna clean the roads where when the power is out? Who's gonna clean all the trees and all the debris out the way so the utility trucks can get there and restore the power? Somebody has to do it. All right. Who's going to be there to get all the trash out of your yard off the side of the road with the big reacher and take it to the dump? Somebody got to do it. But if you chase all the migrant workers out because of your racism, because of your feel good, oh look what I did, they're separating, they're getting out of here. Okay, you dummy. All right, don't cry. Don't cry when you think your lights was out. What normal would have been 3 days, end up being 30 days because they can't get through.
Because you got a mountain of trees and brush.
Yeah, they can't get
in
through that.
in the front of that road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So don't cry when your roof on your house. You try to call a roofing company and they can't get to you for 6 months down the line because they don't have any workers.
Put you on a waiting list.
Right.
And you got to
get
keep
on a waiting list.
keep a blue tarp on top of your roof.
Yeah, or just look up at the night sky with that big hole in your roof. So don't get mad when your grass grow up to your doorsteps, past your front door. You can't because you can't find anybody to cut your grass because you ran all them out. Or when you're paying $20 for a salad, or you can't get any meat because nobody's working at the slaughterhouse because they got all of them got arrested. All right, meat is going bad. It's rotting on the hooks in the slaughterhouse, and you can't get your T-bone steak.
That right there, Lenny. We both have some experience with that out in the Midwest.
Yes.
There are a lot of undocumented workers, and not all of them are undocumented, that are working at a lot of the slaughterhouses out in Kansas, in the Midwest, out in various parts of Texas, which is where we get an abundance of our high dollar meats.
Right.
Which are shipped all over the country, some out of the country.
Yeah.
Not just vegetables. We talk about the vegetable thing, but we know, both of us, we know personally how the meat packing and shipping industry, there's going to be a shortage. It's going to be shortage, but the price is going to go sky high, for meats as well. Right. So that is something to think about there. Very, very, very good point that you brought up. Excellent.
And I just want to say this real quick.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this. Anyone at any time can get snatched off the streets. They can what they did, and it just came over. I was just watching the news, not the mainstream media. I went off on another broadcast. What they are doing, they went to a swap shop today.
Okay.
The ICE agents went to a swap shop. Because they were having a swap shop like they have.
What state? Places. What state is it?
This was in Texas.
Texas. Okay.
I think it was in San Antonio.
San Antonio. Okay.
They went to a swap shop because they're supposed to have a concert there. No, I guess they figured a lot of Mexicans would show up. So when they found out that the agents were there, no one showed up. Because a few people showed up that didn't get the memo, and they were asking them questions. Well, let me see your ID. Who are you? And they were arresting people. All right, so they figured they would get a whole bunch of Mexicans there.
This evening? This evening? Today?
That was today.
Okay. Wow.
So I just want to give some pointers real quick. How to ICE proof yourself.
Okay.
How to ICE proof yourself and your home. So some of the things you can do as my Hispanic brothers and sisters, or anybody, well, mostly Hispanic brothers and sisters. When you go out, if you got to go to the store, go at night.
Okay.
Go at night. And if you gotta go grocery shopping, all right, make sure that everything on your vehicle is working. Your headlights, your tail lights, your tag
Good
light.
point. Good
Because
point.
your tag light is always the one that gets you stopped.
Good point.
Make sure your car's in good working order.
Yes.
Put tint on your windows. Not super dark, but just dark enough where they can't see when you're driving.
Within legal range.
Yeah, within legal, yeah. Mm-hmm. Put some tint on your windows. And if you go to the store, one person stays in the car while one person goes in with a list. Because if it's a bunch of you, give them a list and let them go in and get the shopping done for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So also, when you come out of your house in the mornings, look around. Just don't walk out and get in your car and go. Look around. Drive around your neighborhood. Anything that looks suspicious. Any different car that you haven't seen. All right. Second of all, when you do go to work, you may work a construction job. Try to ride in with somebody. All right. Try to ride in with one of your black friends or your white friends. Because if a bunch of you guys are getting in the trucks, that's a sure sign that you're gonna get pulled over, and they've been watching you. Change. Take a change. If you're working like Home Depot or Lowe's, take your change of clothes to work with you. Because they may see you come in wearing one thing, it's okay. We know we're gonna get him. But if you go to the bathroom and change into something else, all right. A lot of people identify with clothing.
True.
Dye your hair. All right. If you got kids in school, sometime change up your route, the way you go to school, or have a neighbor that you can trust drop your kids off for you sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Let them ride the school bus. Also, make a plan with your kids that if something happens, you have another relatives to come and take care of your kids if something happens.
Right.
All right. And basically what I'm saying, just keep a low profile. If you don't have to go out, stay in. Keep your blinds closed. And I hate to say this, but if you don't, if you don't do all that you can do, they're watching you. Mm-hmm. This is just a few pointers that I'm trying to point out to my Spanish brothers and sisters to be aware of.
Very good pointers.
Yeah.
And Lenny, also, even not just our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they're starting to pick up anyone dark.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about that last week. They were making a joke. They said, if you got some pigment in your skin, you could get picked up.
Yeah.
So what Lenny is, this advice he's giving is really, really good. Take heed to these things. You got some more?
Well, also what I've done for my own safety and protection is I've ordered me a body cam. I got a body cam. This body cam is like $89. You can get off Amazon. Keep that body cam on you. I have a tactical vest and I keep it on. With my body cam, my bear spray, and me as my concealed weapon on there.
Right.
Because you never know. You want to have it recorded and documented.
Right.
For your safety and their safety.
Very, very good.
For your whereabouts
and
in case something happens. So I'm just, like I said before some weeks ago, everybody has to be ready. Stock up on food.
These are things that they can all purchase on Amazon?
They can purchase on Amazon. Your body cam, your tactical vest. I would suggest at least get those two. Maybe some bear spray.
We should include this in the show notes. Let's try to. Let's try to get. Let's get our producer we'll get those in the show notes.
Yes. Let's be safe. Let's be smart.
Vigilant, as they say, right?
Yeah, be vigilant. Stock up on food, water, all your supplies now. That way you don't have to travel as much. And stay out of crowds. Stay out of crowds.
Lenny is the survivalist, y'all. He is I thought I was he got me rechecking my list. Wow. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Continue. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that was it. That's all I had. I just want to bring an awareness and let people know that they're taking you not just out of schools, but they're also going and trying to come into churches. So just be vigilant, Stay alert. Be aware of your surroundings. Be cautious. Um, just prepare and have
Wow,
a
that
plan. Have a
is
plan. Have a plan for your
have a
kids.
plan. Yeah, have a
Yes.
plan. And when we say have a plan, and for the kids, I mean, let's kind of like let's be a little bit more specific on that too. Should they have a plan with some friends who and
Yes.
just non-Hispanic friends
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm
that
saying. Yeah. Have them.
that won't have a that are less likely to be picked up? I
Right. That's why I
mean, you
said,
know,
if your kids can ride to school with some of your white friends or your black friends, instead of you having to take them and they be able to catch a pattern on you, because this is what they do. They just they watch you, all right,
yeah.
and they watch your patterns, all right. So you got to change up your patterns.
But also a plan of say for God forbid that parents don't come back.
Right.
A
That's what I
plan that
said.
you would have with
And
that
with the
black
teacher,
friend or that white
or that
friend or
or that,
somebody
that teacher, that principal.
that that
Yeah.
they know I can call Miss So and So.
Right.
I can't find mama, I can't find dad. I can
Yeah.
call Miss So and So
Right.
and they're gonna help me. So
Right.
that's what we want them to seriously look into because I mean that is really we've been seeing a lot of that.
Look. Yeah.
Kids, and you had mentioned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You said, man, these kids gonna come home
Yeah.
and ain't gonna be nobody at the house.
Right. So it's basically we got to be. It's like an underground railroad. So we've got
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
able to help one another in
Harriet
this
Tubman.
because yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
underground railroad these people.
Yeah, yeah, that is because that is something really to man. That is great advice, great information, and we're going to try to include some of these things, as I said, with the survivalist gear and safety
Yes.
gear in the show notes because these things they can be purchased from Amazon.
Yep.
And I wouldn't doubt Lenny, that a lot of these things will be going quick. I
Yep.
mean, and it's going to probably get to the point where the prices are going to really start. So if you're listening to this now, uh, can you repeat those things one more time later? What you keep your gear, your
Yeah.
safety survivalist gear.
Right. So I ordered a tactical vest, which is probably about $25. Now the body camera, they can go as high as 150, 160, or you can get
Okay.
one for $40. Mine is like $90 and some change
Okay.
because I got HD in a color,
Right.
and it's on a 24-hour loop.
Right.
And not only can you have it on you, but you can also install this in your car where
Yeah.
you keep it in your car. So that way, I would advise you to keep it with you or in your car at all times because it will alert you if anyone is creeping around your car. Okay, you can look at it on your phone, see what's going on.
Right.
You know, that way, if you're in Walmart and let's say they followed you and your camera picks up these people are lurking around outside your car waiting on you, you can have a plan B to avoid them. All right, it's basically we got to be like a I Spy, James Bond, get smart type of individuals now because you're talking about the government.
Right.
And if you can keep your family safe, if you can keep your family from being snatched, your kids from being snatched, you need to do it. I talked to one guy today. He said, they come knocking on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not opening. I'm shooting right through the door because you ain't got no business coming to my house at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I said, well, man, that's kind of extreme. We're not calling for violence, but we're calling for vigilance.
Yeah.
Be vigilant
Yeah.
in what you're doing.
Yeah, you don't want to do something like that. I mean, we all are aware of our Second Amendment rights,
Right.
and
Yeah,
but you don't
because
want to pull something up and you have a literal army outside your door,
right.
and it's 10 to 15 against one. So
You're gonna
what
lose.
Lenny is saying there, yeah, we hear use common sense
Yeah.
and think about yourself and your family that might be in the house with you. So, so that gentleman that you spoke to, yeah, you might want to hit him up again to make sure he's on track.
He was adamant. I'll be coming to my door 2-3 in the morning. I'm shooting through the door. You ain't got no business knocking on my door.
Yeah, that's we want to help that brother out.
We're not advocating violence, guys. But I can tell you this real quick, and that this will be it for me on that. They're snatching people off the street with their face covered. Now, element of surprise is something else, because if I'm strapped and I see a bunch of people run up on me and don't identify themselves, I'm throwing down on them.
Right.
Okay, that's just me, because you ain't gonna catch me slipping like that. Wherever I go, I have mine with me, not just one, but 2 of them.
Right.
So I'm always on the ready.
Yeah, always on the ready.
Always on the ready.
Here. Yes, sir. I'm with you on that one.
What did that one sheriff say? If you pull a gun on us, we're gonna throw down on you. You pull up on me, you throw a rock, I'm gonna throw down on you. That one sheriff that made those threats to the protesters.
Horrific comments.
Yeah,
basically. And also, Lenny, a lot of these guys, they aren't law enforcement. I don't even believe. I believe some of them are Jimmy, Bob, and Joe from down the street.
Let me tell you who they are.
You know,
they're Proud Boys.
Yeah,
Oath Keepers.
Yeah.
All right, that's who they are.
Yeah,
they're Trump's militia that he has deputized or federalized to go out and do the work. Because in the past, you never saw ICE with their face covered.
Right.
Never.
You don't do that.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden, their face covered now. Because the people from January the 6th.
Yeah.
He got those guys in Virginia walking with those tiki sticks. Those are the ICE people.
Yeah. And like Lenny said, we're law abiding citizens, but we're also in the mindset of protection.
Yes.
And when you're in the mindset of protection, the first thing you're thinking about is you want to take away the threat.
Right.
And that's what I'm speaking in from training that we've had. Your first your move is to take away the threat. You want to get away, but sometimes you can't do that. So you want to take away the threat.
Right.
And to have somebody coming at you with their faces covered, which law enforcement does not do that. Law enforcement does not do that. Real law enforcement does not do it. So to have somebody coming at you with their faces covered, as Lenny said, we've got to make some hair lip how you say it, decisions within seconds.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to get to that point, which shows you the kind of administration that we're dealing with. To send folks like that out against your people.
Yeah.
In your country. We're not in a foreign land, in your own soil. That shows you the lowness, the unprofessional, the incompetent, hateful decision-making administration that we have.
Yes. That
it would get to the point of, that point. So, good points there, Lenny. And on that, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with more of the Soul of Generation X.
You are listening to the Soul of Generation X, and you can find the Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to the Soul of Generation X. We appreciate you all all of our listeners and fans out there. Thank you for joining us in this second season. It's we've been doing really well, and we really appreciate y'all out there. What I want to move into really quick here is I've been doing a segment as part of a setup of what I call "How did we get to this point?" And it's basically talking about looking at basically how we, instead of just calling out names of people we don't like, and we're hearing this name here and we're hearing that, is how do we get to the point that we're at now? You know, we're talking about this bill that's coming up, and all the things that we are going through daily, trials and tribulations with this administration. It's there's some simple parts, like parts of a recipe, ingredients as to how we got here. And what I wanted to uh, concentrate on in today's segment, you know, we did the Supreme Court. We also did white women. What I want to concentrate on today is the most unexpected and game changing of the forces of how we got to this point in the 2024 election, the Hispanic vote, and how the Hispanic vote helped elect this basically buffoon that we have that we call a president, Donald Trump. And yeah, you heard me right. You know, this is the Hispanic vote. They're a demographic that has long been seen as leaning more towards the Democrats. But this time they made a historic and I would say a significant pivot, as some people say. And that pivot really has changed the course of American politics for the worse. Just start out with some figures here for you. In the 2024 election, Donald Trump captured 42 to 46% of the Hispanic vote, which is an incredible amount. It's actually the highest share ever recorded by a Republican presidential candidate, which is it's insane. And it's just not a statistic. It's basically what some people call a political earthquake. That's the effect that it had. And to put it in context, Trump improved his performance with the Hispanic voters by 10 to 14 points over 2020. So, you know, we talk about, you know, the 90 million that stayed home. So we're not only dealing with the 90 million that stayed home, we're also dealing with this increase in the amount of Hispanic voters. And I just want to stop just real quick and say that this, as Lenny knows, this affects me in more ways than one. It really is pretty. Lenny knows what I'm talking about, right? Lenny,
Right.
it's really, and even Lenny himself. But you know, personally, this really affects me in more ways than one. And you can put that in your cup and stir it and think about it. But getting back to what I was saying here is, you know, these weren't just minor shifts. They were decisive swings in battleground states like Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania. He even flipped the heavily Hispanic counties in Texas and California that they hadn't been a red Republican area in decades. And that has contributed a lot to what we're dealing with now. So next thing we're thinking about, so why did this shift happen? Why did our Hispanic brothers and sisters move to the ruby red side, as Lenny would say?
Mm-hmm.
And some people say it wasn't about party loyalty. Many people would say that it was about survival and values. That's what we're hearing. So Trump's messaging around the economy, inflation, and border control resonated, especially within the working class Hispanic folks, of whom 50% voted for Trump. And when we say working class, and we're not, like I said, we don't bite our tongues here, Generation X. We're talking about many of the Hispanics who some could literally, they can be white one day, they can be Hispanic one day. They're they they have the better jobs. They have the management positions, and I can say this, folks, for various reasons. But yeah, there are some Hispanics who can be white some days. They will. Some will tell you, I can switch when I need to. So that's who we're talking about when we say the working class Hispanic. Not all of them, but that's a big percentage. And so he got to them in that way. And so he say in a time of rising, grocery bills and higher rent and concern over safety, many of these voters said, we need someone who's going to shake the system up and protect our jobs and communities and our families. And it's like, how could they get bamboozled like that? And some of that comes about from, and this happens even in the black community as well, but some in the Hispanic community feeling that they are better than some of their brothers and sisters. And that goes way back to in his history. You'll hear some of them talking about Spain and what happened here in Cuba and what happened here in Mexico and various reasons, and as well as a lot in the black community. We tend to do a lot of the same things. So you'll hear some of that come up, and so they'll say, "Oh, it's not just about immigration." Let's be clear. This wasn't just about an immigration policy. This was about feeling seen and heard and respected, which many Hispanic folks are, outspoken. They speak well. Especially the ones in politics, and they feel that they want to be respected. Sometimes where they might look down on that brother or that sister that is actually a part of them. But as Trump has been able to do it, he was able to get to them, and they said they wanted real answers on the cost of living and small business and support and crime prevention, and they didn't want lip service, which they think they've been getting from the other parties. But then again, some of them haven't even been a part of any other party but Republican, and that depends on their background and their where they came from, and they some have always thought that they were different, or as I said, better than their other Hispanic brothers and sisters. So we can't say they all of a sudden switched, because we can look at Marco Rubio, which is a great example of a situation like that. Who we won't even go into that now, but if you're talking about somebody who's literally turned his back on his culture, and it has looks like he has no feelings about it, but that's a whole other story there. But many of these people felt that Trump was going to offer them something, and which is, I don't understand it, but that's another story. But okay, but this, like I said, we're getting back to what I was saying. This wasn't a one-time glitch. This was a wake-up call, and for Republicans, the opportunity was like, can they sustain this new coalition and deliver real results? That's what some of the Hispanic voters were getting from some of the local uh, representatives and council folks that are part of the Republican Party. They were telling them, and then for the Democrats, it was a warning that no demographic is guaranteed. So you're thinking, oh, we've got the Hispanic vote, we've got the Hispanic vote. No, you didn't get it this time. So you can't just assume loyalty and that, I'm speaking to the Democrats on that end. We've got to literally earn it, every cycle, which is every, in every election, when the cycle rolls around, midterms. But that's really what, in a nutshell, basically, in continuing in how we got to this point. The Hispanic vote was major, and now we're looking at, you're seeing it in social media, many Hispanics that voted for him are getting picked up, and taken away. As you're seeing a lot of folks coming out and saying, "This is not what we wanted. This is not what we Hispanic folks. We didn't vote for this. We didn't ask for this." But you let this clown get to you. For some reason, you let him get to you, and I'm going to step off on a little commentary on the side here. I'm going to get on a little soapbox real quick here. As I said, there are a lot. There are various Hispanic cultures, from Mexicans to Cubans to Dominicans to Puerto Ricans to Spaniards to Brazilians. Our cultures, we treat each other like crap sometimes. We treat each other like crap. And this comes from when the colonizers came over to Africa and picked us up and threw us in the bottom of this raggedy ass ship with crap and mess and pee, and we down there chained to each other, and they taking us to work for them, to build what we got as a country now. They instilled hate into us. They instilled hate into us to where that make us say things and do things that against our own brothers and sisters that we don't mean. I mean, like I can hear some of the Cubans saying down there in Miami, they've been there for a little while, and we don't want them to just the Cubans, and they're talking about their own people. We don't want them coming in here. We don't. But somebody came here to give you a better life, and now you've picked up this indoctrination of the colonizers that we don't want them to come in here. We don't need them, and you're turning against your own folks. You're turning against your own people, and we need to change that. We need to change that. Until we change that, things like this are going to happen. We're going to get bamboozled. We're going to get changed around, turned upside down, and it's going to end up to where we get a clown as our supposedly president. And now he doesn't care. He don't give a damn about y'all. He don't care nothing about y'all. So it's all about him. So we got to do better than this. So that's part of what I wanted to just say, as far as how we got to this point. Like I said, we've looked at the Supreme Court. We've looked at white women. We're looking at the Hispanic voters. These three things so far are major turning points that got us to this point, that if there would just have been some extra thought, less hate, we would not be sitting here contemplating the future of paying astronomical taxes and debts for us, our children, our grand. We wouldn't be doing this right now. So this is something that we need to look at and work on, and we got to do better, people. We must do better. We must. The colonizers have instilled hate into us to where we turn against our own brother, our own sister. They have instilled this from day one, 400 years ago. On that ship, on those ships, millions of Africans came out, and a lot of people don't realize 80% of those boats went to the Caribbean. They went to Brazil. They went to Puerto Rico. We didn't. I'll say we, but in the United States, there was maybe 20% of the boats came here. People don't realize that in Brazil has more black folks than we have in the United States of America. There are more blacks in Brazil than in the United States of America. So we all are tied together. We all are brothers and sisters. We all came from that gigantic continent that we call Africa. Mm-hmm. We all came from there. And we've got to pull together and stop this hate. We're dealing with enough hate from them, from the colonizers. We don't need to be hating on each other. And that's what they've gotten us to do. And it just didn't happen. They sit, and it's a strategy that they come up with. So we got to do better, folks. So, Lenny, you got anything?
Yeah, I was listening attentively and with intensity. My take is that when you talked about the Hispanic vote, is that the percentage of Hispanic that voted Republican, voted for Donald Trump, is staggering. And my take, and this is how I view it, I think they thought that they had overcome. I think they said, well, we could check out of the other box and
wow,
we've arrived.
Wow.
And
okay,
they quickly learned that no, you haven't arrived.
No, you haven't.
We've been doing this for 400 years. We tried to tell you the playbook. You may thought you arrived, but they're showing you quickly. No, you go back to that other and check that box back.
That category, that other category.
You're not here.
Yeah,
you're not there.
Great point. Great point.
So I think they were duped into thinking that, and I think that spread like wildfire because it's one thing where people will accept you. And it's another thing they say, well, you haven't put in the work like that group of people. Mm-hmm. So basically, like they say, like my grandma would say, boy, don't get beside yourself. And I think they got beside themselves.
Grandma said don't get beside yourself, huh?
And they had to be checked. So, and I'm just laying it out bare, okay? Mm-hmm. And I think, people got overconfident and say, hey, we've arrived.
Yeah,
look at us.
We've arrived.
Yeah, look at us. We're listening to, we're talking their language. We got Enrique Tarrio. He's out there, even though he's Hispanic, but he's leading the charge for white supremacy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Lenny, that's all that is colonizer influence.
That's all it is.
Straight up, you got this Hispanic guy out there. I mean, literally, you think about and I've seen him walking with them. And what if all of a sudden, you watch these movies like we watch with somebody do a little mind frame, all of a sudden they just turn on him. Mm-hmm. They just turn on him. And they look at him and say, wait a minute, you think you one of us? Yeah. And they just devour him. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? How do you piggybacking on another thing you just said there too. They say, oh, we've arrived. Now, okay, there are some Hispanic folks out there, and from our personal dealings in various things, that they do think that they are better than their other brother and sister. And you hear, and I've heard this before, and it's disturbing.
Yeah. The
way I hear them speaking, and I say this from experience from having lived in Miami. Yeah. Where literally I know Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, South Americans, Brazilians. I mean, you can know so many in the Hispanic culture, literally have friends from various cultures. And you hear some of the hate that they have against each other. So, you're saying that what would make them think, like you said, I've arrived, and you're not a majority, but I've arrived.
Yeah.
What would bring that besides heavy colonizer influence?
a sense of entitlement.
What does that entitlement come from?
Entitlement comes from feeling that, I've achieved a certain status that they have say I need to achieve to be like them or be one of them.
Right.
I listen to the same propaganda. I believe the same things they believe. I'm a Christian. I've arrived. I have a nice 4-bedroom, 2-bath home with a pool and 2 or 3 cars in the driveway. So I'm in that status.
Right.
My skin complexion is just as good as theirs, or and I have friends and that I have a good job where I carry a briefcase and wear a tie. I'm out of the mechanic shop. I'm walking with a tie, suit and tie now. But they quickly learn that you're not there. You're not. You're not one of us. Okay, you haven't put the time in to be one of us. We're not going to give it to you.
Yeah, that's what they say.
We've been here for 400 years and we still haven't reached it. So you think you're going to come over here since 1980 under the Reagan administration, and all of a sudden you're going to be there that quick? Come on.
And unless you're able to, as we said, your skin complexion.
Yeah.
And I've talked to many Hispanics that I know that some of them take pride on that skin complexion to where they could literally, as we say, code switch. They can be quote unquote white one day, or next week I'm going to be Hispanic next week, or when I leave here and I get away from y'all, when I get home, now I'm going to be Hispanic. But when I go back and walk in that door tomorrow with Johnny and Tommy and Bobby and Cindy, then that's out the window. So, but every Hispanic person can't do that. But then again, there are some, and like you said, you brought up the Proud Boys guy there. What happened in his life that would make him switch up like that? That would make him think he's a part of them. Was it he met somebody growing up? Did somebody in his family abuse him? What would make him leave? And I'm saying this because I might do some research. Maybe he was left out on the side of the road by his poppy, his mommy, and this white person came and scooped him up and raised him, and they are my savior, my ultimate race. I praise to them. You wonder how could that person do that?
You, he just like that guy we talked about earlier. That the black guy was sitting behind Trump clapping.
Yeah,
and he's just in that same category. He don't know the history. He doesn't know his history. He don't know that his people, his Spanish heritage, was prosecuted as well. He don't know that his Spanish heritage was robbed of land that they rightfully owned here in America. Right. He don't know that his Spanish heritage was prosecuted. And so you have a guy, and both of those guys who don't know history, who they are nothing but opportunists. Okay,
opportunists. Yeah,
that's all they are.
Exactly.
I would be hard pressed that Enrique Ontario could go into the heart of L.A. with his quote unquote Spanish and mingle with the guys in L.A. or some of the guys in Miami. Because as far as I'm concerned, he's a sellout, just like Marco Rubio is, and he's a sellout, just like that black guy that was clapping, for the Confederate soldiers who were traitors. He's a sellout, and they would not welcome him in certain parts of the Spanish culture. Yeah,
not one bit. I mean, and I don't know. Is he Cuban? Do you know? What is
Ontario?
Yeah.
I know he's Hispanic, but
I mean,
what is,
yeah, I was wondering is because I know I was going to
but
say that's
whatever he is, he couldn't go back and just blend in, and they would not accept him because he has sold them out, like Rubio has sold the Cubans out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he sold the group out, but there are many that are like him that we know of. So I
yeah,
mean, so there's a group, but in general, yes, yeah, he is. He's literally in his culture. His I think he said something about his grandfather came over here in like 52 or 55, and he hardworking man, and there's a story behind that, and he would be ashamed of him.
oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean, and there's a story about that. That's something that we can go into on another show of Hispanics and their beliefs, which I learned from a fellow podcaster, brother of a friend of ours out in Colorado. He's an attorney. He's Puerto Rican, Luis, and he's very knowledgeable uh, in in this subject matter that we're talking about. So, um, yeah, it's really, as we say that word we hate to use, sad that that we're dealing with something like this, or something would come over a group of folks like this that would change the course of an election, and that's a big part. Like I said, we started out. It started with the Supreme Court. Then I went to the effects of white women on the election. And this time it was uh, the Hispanic vote. And that's something we're going to continue on with. How did we get to this point? Um, but as Lenny said, entitlement is one thing, but it goes down deeper also into the roots of some things that there are some beliefs that some have that aren't just real anymore, and they've got to release that and let that go, because they're going to get affected as well if this beautiful crappy bill, as he whatever it is, I'm not going to call it beautiful. What do you call it?
The
If this
big,
goes,
the big, the big beautiful bill.
I like.
Got Donald
Oh,
Trump impression.
you doing impressions now, which he didn't even know what he's saying half of the time. That they're going to feel as well. But great points that you made about why some of them are doing something, doing the things that they're doing, and feeling the way that they're feeling, and the way that they're treating their own, which is very sad because literally, and I'm not saying this as the soul of Generation X, we say, but to literally look and see the millions of slaves that came out of Africa on these horrific trips and slave ships, and to see where many of the boats landed literally in on the land of many Hispanics in the Caribbean, uh, to just know that we all are brothers and sisters, and we just need to act more and treat each other more like that. It's amazing, and I don't know if some don't want to accept that, but just look at the history. That's all you got to do. Just read the history, and you'd be amazed at how close we are. And how close we are, and that means that we need to stick together and we need to pull together, and we can't follow the colonizers. We cannot follow the colonizers. Every time that we follow them, what is it? What have they gotten us into, Lenny? Every time.
Nothing but nothing
Grief.
good.
Grief and pain.
Yeah, grief, pain, destruction.
Grief and pain. But literally, we have to go out here. We have to go out here because of what we've been brought into. When I say we, our culture, what we were brought into, we literally have to go out here daily and code switch. Basically, I mean, hey, how you doing? Hey, good morning. How you doing? Blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. But we have to go out here and code switch with many people that they don't like us. They don't like the pigment in your skin. They don't like. If we could just leave, that would be amazing. If we could all just leave. I mean, literally, like just snap a finger and we just leave. What do
Yeah.
you think would happen to this place we call the United States?
It will collapse. The economy will collapse. They'll lose their identity, their culture. It will be a financial disaster. Yeah, it will be this country couldn't survive without us because we are the ones, whether people want to believe it or not, who have created a lot of inventions
Yeah.
that this country uses now. Without us,
Hmm.
there's a lot of things in this country we wouldn't have. Okay,
Hmm. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we bring the color,
Yeah.
like the color
Bring a
TV.
lot.
We bring the color. We bring the entertainment. We
Hmm.
bring the knowledge. We bring the drive. We push them. We
Hmm.
actually, and I thought about we pushed them because you got to understand now they had a 400-year head start,
Hmm.
and they look back. They didn't see us, but we kept coming. We kept coming. We
Hmm.
kept coming. So
Hmm.
we literally have pushed them to try to stay ahead of us.
Yeah.
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 Yes,
We
ma'am.
it's and when people say,
They
you
need
hear a
us.
lot that when we say we built this country, literally, we built the buildings in Washington. We built the buildings in many of the capitals around the country. We built those buildings. We anything that was built, if you can go back within 300 to 400 years, we had a hand in that.
Hmm.
We had a hand building buildings that we couldn't get in,
Hmm.
and built all of Washington. That's a no brainer there.
Yeah.
So it's we can take we can go in various routes in talking about things like that. But I'm getting off the subject with our Hispanic brothers and sisters, which is what we're really on. But they we all are we come from the same cloth, and it's not just whether you have a eighth, a quarter. You hear people saying that if you are Hispanic, you came from Africa,
Hmm.
and it's not saying you hating on other on the colonizers, because we want to get along with everybody, but you just and Lenny brought up this thing about this guy, this Proud Boys that Donald Trump pardoned. You think about this guy, and then when I first heard about it, I'm like, wait a minute, Proud Boys leader. I said that guy, he looks Puerto Rican or something. And this is way back when I first heard him. Leader of the Proud, what? And I'm looking, I'm saying, wait a minute. So I'm looking for a white guy.
Yeah.
So, it just, I want to do some research on that guy
Yeah.
because he's not the only one that's like him. He fits the profile of me. I mean, you could place Marco Rubio in his spot.
Hmm.
Literally, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a profile of Hispanic that would do or be a part of something like that. Not that you can't get along with other folks, but when you're doing it for reasons against your own people, that's when things change. So, yeah. So glad we got on that there those topics that you brought up, Lenny. Um, really makes a lot of sense. So what do you got for us, Lenny?
Well, all I can say is, people, it's going to be a rough ride, and like I always say, stay prepared, stay ready, keep your guards up. Okay, when I say guards, and on all corners, you know, stay vigilant. Watch the news, see what's going on. Don't let things go by you. Stand up, be accounted for. Speak up, speak out. All right, protect yourself, protect your family. Get around people that you can trust.
Yeah.
All right, don't take anything for granted. Because these MFers are playing for keeps. Okay? They want to destroy you. They want to destroy your family. They want to destroy this economy. Everything that you worked your ass off for years and years and years, they're trying to take it away just like that. They want to take your health care. They want to take your retirement. They want to take your Social Security. They want to take the way of life that you worked so hard all your life to struggle, nickel and dime to get. All right? They want to take it. All right? And so you got a guy in office in Donald Trump who was complicit with it. All right? I'm going to just break it down real quick. You got a guy who's never had to worry about pretty much anything in his life except,
Nothing.
when he was going to get what kind of toupee he was going to get, how long he was going to stay in the tanning bed. All right? This is white privilege. It's white privilege. All right? This is privilege. So, and most of the people that he surrounded himself with, the guy's never went to the grocery store probably. He doesn't drive, okay? He fly. Can you fly around in a jet? Most people cannot do that. All right? So he doesn't give two shits about you and I. All right? So stop. Don't stop fooling yourself like this guy care about you. If you living in the weeds and the swamp, Louisiana, and you still voting for this guy, then you know what? You deserve everything you get.
You deserve everything.
If you're a farmer and you got crops rotting in the field and he chased all your help away and you still support this guy, I don't feel sorry for you. You deserve every damn thing you get.
Everything you get. Say it again.
You deserve everything you get. If you're that federal worker who lost his job because of Doge and the Doge Bros, and you still believe in Elon Musk and Donald Trump, even though you don't have a job anymore, and you're blowing through your savings trying to pay for that $1,000 a month Cobra insurance on your family, you know what? You deserve everything you get.
Deserve everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to be that dumb, that stupid, that in love with MAGA, then there's no hope for you.
That hateful.
That hateful. Yeah, that hateful. I don't blame Kamala Harris sitting back. I would be sitting back laughing my ass off and say, you big dummies.
Exactly.
You big dummies.
She tried to tell you.
You fell for the okie doke. You think you're so smart, and you fell for the oldest trick in the book.
Because you didn't
what
want to do
they call 3-card Motley.
3-card money.
3-card money? Yeah. Yeah. You fell for that game.
She tried to tell you.
Tried to tell you.
She tried to tell you. So if you sit around, hey.
So after all what's going on, all the protests and No King's Day and everything else, and you still, people getting murdered by right-wing extreme terrorists, Trump supporters, and you still sticking with Donald Trump, then, hey, you deserve every damn thing you get.
Everything
you lose your business, too bad. Okay?
Everything you get.
When they buy your farm up on it because you can't pay the taxes anymore on it, and you got and all the John Deere equipment you got out there in the field, and they come and repossess it.
Yes.
Hey, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
But look, it's not that we don't love y'all. Y'all just need to get spanked, right? We're not preaching hate. Right. We ain't preaching hate. We're not preaching hate. We're not preaching hate. But if you're still doing that, you deserve everything you get. You need to get spanked. Some of the spanking might be a week, 2, a month, 3 months. It might be years.
But see, the thing is, this not gonna be a spanking. As the old folks say, I'm gonna tear your ass up. That's what the old folks say. This is gonna be an ass whooping here.
Big old switch. Big switch.
Yeah, big switch with this
one. With leaves on it.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Ain't gonna leave just enough of that bark on it to tear some off your hide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just enough.
Yeah.
We don't hate you, but you need to get spanked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump ain't gonna just spank you. He gonna give you that good old fashioned ass whooping. It's gonna be the kind where when you get hit a couple times, your mouth gonna be open. You ain't gonna be able to breathe. It's gonna be, and you're gonna cry 5 minutes later.
Yeah. Later, because it's gonna be burning.
It's gonna be burning.
It's gonna be burning. It's gonna be burning because of that hate inside of you.
Yeah.
That hatred for that your fellow man.
Right.
Your fellow man that you just it just sometimes you just wonder, man. You just wonder. Because like I tell people sometimes if they ask me something, I say, you know what? My people didn't ask to come here. We didn't ask to come here. We didn't, hey, it's got some jobs over there. Let's go and hop on this boat and get chained up and pee and piss all over each other and ride over there and get this job. Did we do that? No. No. We were kidnapped.
Yeah.
Kidnapped by the colonizers. Your people, we were kidnapped, shackled. Some of us didn't even make it. That's something we're going to look at on another show. Some of us didn't. Some of us refused to come over here. Yeah. Some of us took some ships, and we say, you know what? We're going to take this. They said, we're going to take this whole ship down.
Right.
We're going to sink this ship before you get us over to where you taking us. We're going to take this whole ship down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
they didn't make that ship didn't make it cross.
And there was many ships like that. We didn't ask to be over here. So the hatefulness, the constant rumors and it just makes you just sometimes you can go into various routes about why this is like this. But you deserve, as they say, you deserve everything you get.
Everything you get.
But if you want to join our movement, you're welcome.
Yes.
Right, Lenny?
Oh yeah.
We're not hating on you. We would love to have you in the movement. That's what we need.
Right.
We need to join hands. Like they say, kumbaya. We need to all join hands. So we're not pushing you away. We want you to join the movement.
Right.
Be a part of the soul of Generation X.
And we're not up under the guise of when they go low, we go high. No, when they go low, I'm gonna try to knock your heads off of them.
Make them
I'm gonna try to knock your damn block off. Yes.
Exactly. And then you'll learn. And then we bring you back and put you back in the game. But we're not hating on you, right, Lenny?
Right.
No, we're not hating on you. We want you to do better. We want your brotherhood. And and for our listeners out there, our generation, our solar generation X, we want you all to spread that as well. We don't want you to hate on your fellow man. We're not doing this for hate like a lot of shows that preaching hate. We're not preaching hate. We're trying to educate you so that you will know how to talk to your brother, talk to your sister, wake up and learn what you need to do and stop being so goddamn just selfish. Because you're doing things, you've done stuff to hurt your kids, your grandkids.
Yep.
This foolishness that you got following this jackass of a incompetent man that you call a president You hurting your kids, your grandbabies. He don't care nothing about you. Him and
He
his
don't care.
crew, they're all about hate.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what we want. We're trying to educate. We're not about to hate. So, you know, anyway, let that tell you, man. It's we could take this thing on and well we've got enough for the next show. We've already come up with
Oh yeah.
with the next show. We there's this administration daily. I mean, I'm thinking daily. It never fails. You got so
I
much.
just want to say
You got
this
so
real
much
quick.
material. It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. But also, I want our listeners to know that we are on the verge within the next, I would say, by the end of the week, probably be at war. I know Israel's already at war with Iran. We'll
Yeah.
probably be at war with Iran. Now, this is a guy who came in against going to war. He criticized Obama for dropping the bombs on Libya. Okay, but he came in saying that he doesn't like war. He wants to stop all wars. He can stop war within 24 hours. He has done nothing. He has done absolutely nothing.
That television
Okay.
station in Iran was bombed the other day, right?
Yeah, it was.
Israel, yeah.
I was watching that. It was
Television
on
station.
Yeah,
You
I was
saw
on
it live
Yeah, I was watching Al Jazeera's,
on Al Jazeera. Okay,
and
okay,
the lady was doing the broadcasting.
right.
Got their bomb blown, knocked the whole thing out of whack.
Mm.
So, what I'm telling people is that yes, this is going to be a rough time in America. Get your passport ready because you might have to leave the country. All right, I got mine ready because I'm ready to go. We can always do this podcast from another country. so but listen, in all honesty, guys, I'm telling you, as Steve Smith said today, it's going to be nasty. It's going to get rough. It's going to be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
We
ugly.
we had a little lull last 2 or 3 weeks or so,
Yeah.
and as what we might say, the calm before the storm. Would you say
Right.
that?
Right. Yep. It's like a
Because
hurricane.
I mean, yeah, it's and a lot of things that are being done are distractions.
Right.
Distractions for the storm that's coming,
Yeah.
and which we're going to get into on another show. But a lot of his staff, his cronies, are actually behind a lot of this crap that
Yeah.
we're going through,
Stephen
and they'll
Miller,
throw
that
these
group.
things up. Oh man, we're gonna get into that. I can't wait to get into that. But these are the folks, and they're using him as the clown out front.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you go to back in the day, you go to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. What do you call
Yeah.
it? Circus World. Or
Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey
Barnum
Circus.
and Bailey
Step
Circus.
right up. Hit the corner of a
Step right
bar.
up, and they'd have those rings, right? Where different things are going on in the ring. Ring 1, ring 2, ring 3. Well, you got Donald Trump here in ring 1,
Yep.
sitting up there making a clown, being a jackass, looking like a fool, and we're just looking at what he's doing with his buddy Elon. I want to call him Leon Musk, and in ring 3, you got Stephen Miller and all these evil ass cronies
Pete
over there
Hestek.
carrying out the evil while we're sitting. Oh, Donald Trump's making us laugh. Oh, he's got dementia. He doesn't know what he's saying, and we looking at him, and they over there steady just kicking our ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that later. But yeah, so you got to stay like we're gonna tell you, you got to stay woke, folks. That's what it is. You got to stay woke. Don't be scared to be woke. It's not bad to be woke.
No, it's not.
It's actually pretty cool to be woke.
Yes.
All those football and NBA and NFL games, those guys a lot of them are beginning to be woke. You watch them, your kids watch them.
Right.
Your kids want to be like them. They want you to buy these $150 and $200 jerseys to be like that guy over there.
Yeah.
So stay, be woke. Don't be scared to be woke. But there it is. This is the calm before the storm.
Yes, it is.
And I've noticed it slowly for the last couple of weeks. Things are getting higher. And it's going to, as one podcast brother of us, D.L. Hughley. D.L. said, hey, everybody gonna have their turn in the barrel.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
Everybody, I don't care who you are, where you come from, you're gonna have your turn in the barrel some way.
Right.
So it's gonna get to you in some way if you're in this country. If you unless you got your own farm and you picking your own vegetables and you raising your own cattle and you got your own business and you got your own bank and you got all this, you got everything in your backyard.
Yeah.
Then maybe you might not. But then how many people got that? I don't think hardly too many got that. Man. So you're gonna experience that same loss when that prime rib that comes out of Kansas, that it usually comes out of Kansas, how it won't be coming out of Kansas because there won't be nobody there to get and prepare the meat.
And if it do come out of Kansas, I mean, I don't know how much prime ribs are now because I don't eat prime rib like that, but I know it's going to be 3 times higher. One of the callers I was talking with that listened to our show said he went to buy a pack of hamburger meat. It cost him almost $20.
Yeah.
$20 hamburger meat.
And what you think ribeye? Yeah. Ribeye is big coming out of Kansas. What do you think ribeye is going to be? It's going to be off the chain.
Yeah.
It's going to be off the chain. You're going to like, wait a minute, I'm going to have to go get some of this bologna.
Yeah.
And make do with this bologna.
Listen.
Listen,
like we grew up on this. Listen, I put that fried bologna on there, man. It tastes like steak. Fried up, that bubble blow up in the top, boy. That looks so good. And I'm gonna get that bologna with the red stripe around it.
Oh, you want the stripe? That's Oscar Mayer, right?
I don't know which one it is, but got the red stripe around it.
Okay.
You get it in Georgia, and put it in and fry that bologna up.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. I can't get no more tomatoes. Tomatoes went sky high.
And you might want to get some chickens, some biddies now.
Yeah.
Some little chicken. Start raising some chickens.
Yeah, some chickens.
It's I mean, you raise some for eggs, have some for food.
Do you remember? I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you remember?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I know. I remember. We ordered a chemistry set.
Okay.
And you could also order biddies. They would mail them. They would mail them to you.
Yeah.
Like 18 of them.
They would do that now.
Oven, the incubator in the oven. Let them warm up.
Yeah.
And they'll hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy them. You can buy them now from tractors, like places like Tractor Supply. Yeah. You can buy them right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you get the hens that just lay eggs. That's all they do. They don't need a rooster. They just lay eggs. So it might not be a bad idea to put a chicken coop up in your backyard, folks. And get you a couple goats.
Get some goats.
Yeah.
Or you can use the washroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wash and dry. You can put them in there. Yeah. People listening probably think we off the wall. But it's real.
Yeah.
This is real.
I know we got our biddy. We put them in the oven so they can hatch.
Yeah, you got to incubate them. Yeah. You gotta. There's various things that we're gonna apocalyptic things survivalistic things that we're gonna have to be doing. I believe because they don't know. I should say they don't know. They don't care.
Right.
What they're doing, but I still believe no matter how rich the rich are, if you're that rich, the mega rich, the super rich, you're not doing everything. You have people working for you. You don't have robots. Some people don't, so you're working on it. But you're getting rid of the people who do that. You're getting rid of the things so you're not going to be able to do all of these things. So you're going to be affected too. Something is going to be affected. That grass around that mansion is going to start growing up. It's going to start getting high. It's not going to get cut like it used to get cut. That part of the house that was getting cleaned up all the time by your help, that's not going to get. And that's going to just trickle down and trickle into the factories. You're looking at food might not be as safe as it was. Because things are going to be rushed.
Yeah, no more EPA.
From the slaughterhouses to chicken farms. things are gonna be. You have to be careful with things like that. So, like I say, like DL said, everybody's gonna have their time in the barrel somehow, some way. We're dealing with these flights, these planes, these airplanes that are just going through just ridiculousness because of FAA not having enough people. And we can go on and on. So you're gonna feel it. So, but at any rate, I hope we're able. I'm still gonna hold on to faith, Lenny, that this bill will get knocked out.
Yeah.
That something would happen. I mean, that somehow, somewhere, somebody would come to their senses that this bill does not happen. Somebody has got to come and stand up for everybody. They've got to step out on that limb and realize that Donald Trump does not control them. He does not control their next move. They cannot let him do that. They've got to go back to their practices and standards. And I mean that as Republicans, because all Republicans haven't been bad, but they're scared. But they've got to realize that they don't need that. And they've got to help those of us who aren't. They've got to help us out and help, and in turn that helps everybody.
Yep.
They've got to step off of that and realize his percentage rate approval is going down.
Oh yeah.
Terribly. It's going down terribly.
No doubt.
And I just feel that something is gonna come through, hopefully. So at any rate, then you got anything else before we get out of here?
Well, just want to say, man, it's been great being here with you again, and we're having this discussion and hitting on the important topics of what's going on and trying to make people aware to get them prepared and get them ready, and to stay vigilant. And I we can't stress this enough. We try to put things in layman's term, so it gets right down to where the goats can get it. All right, right down where you can it's easy pickings. All right,
easy pickings. Yeah,
like you said before, we don't sugarcoat it. We don't try to disguise it.
No,
we give it to you raw,
straight up. We real.
Give it to you
real. We real. We are real. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. We want everybody to join hands. That's our goal. We want everybody, because that's the way we grew up. We didn't grow up with hate. We didn't practice hate. We didn't teach that to our kids, our grandkids, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're on a mission. I feel that we're on a mission, and I really do. I feel that we're called to do this, and bring it to the people, and help, and to keep this country going like it should be.
You're right.
Thank you again, Liddy, for those closing comments, and we want to thank all of our listeners, all of our fans of the Soul of Generation X. You all have been amazing in this second season, and you continue to be amazing, and continue to click that like button and follow us, and give us those 5 stars so that we can continue to ascend in this world of podcasts, and that can continue to get the word out to everybody. So stay tuned and with us, and you could, when you follow us, you'll be able to get any updates and know when the new shows are coming out. And we're taking this thing in various directions. Maybe even doing some live streaming and bringing in some guests. We're working on some things like that, and we appreciate your support. So thank you for tuning in once again to the Soul of Generation X. Y'all take care.
You are listening to the Soul of Generation X, And you can find The Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast. We thank you for tuning in, and please click that subscription button so that you'll be aware of all new shows and updates.